Well, guys, you all might have heard that Sleepy Joe Biden removed the Winston Churchill bust from the Oval Office, replicating what his mate Barack Obama did when he took the office himself. Joe, the kitty sniffing tosspot, decided Churchill was not woke enough for him, so went with the likes of Chavez instead. Surprising few, I expect. But Breitbart has picked up on the weak jellyfish nature of Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, who criticised Obama for removing the same thing but is now silent like a scared little child when it comes to the Biden presidency. Maybe he needs Biden to build back better because it seems that way to me. I expect Boris to continually cuck himself out to Biden and the woke lunatics that surround him for as long as he remains in office, which might not be too long. We all expect that the eco-warrior spunk trumpet, Carrie Simmons, wears the trousers when it comes to her and Boris. His whole agenda sounds like it come out of her vagina and into his mouth, so we can expect Boris Johnson is about to become Joe Biden's eco-warrior Tony Blair type figure. A useful puppet like Blair was to Bush, but you can expect British soldiers to be sent fuck knows where within the next year or so to destabilise some tin pot nation and bring more doctors and nurses our way in small boats. But anyway, before we get into this article about the jellyfish Boris Johnson, remember to follow me on my other social media channels that are linked below. It's the best way to see what I have to say outside YouTube, so check the description for the links. Now, onto this article, talking about old spineless Boris Johnson. It headlines: Boris won't criticise Biden for Churchill bust removal, but called it a snub to the UK when Obama did the same. Prime Minister Boris Johnson would not criticise President Joe Biden for removing the bust of Winston Churchill from the Oval Office, a symbol of strong Anglo-American relations, despite having done so when former President Barack Obama made the same gesture years before. Because like I said, I think the Build Back Better narrative puts Boris Johnson in a bit of a shit position. He has to essentially lick the arsehole of Sleepy Joe Biden. Rather concerning that a British Prime Minister appears to be doing that. Mr. Biden removed the bust of the wartime British leader whose mother was American from his White House office on Wednesday, replacing it with several other figures, including those of Rosa Parks, Cesar Chavez, and Eleanor Roosevelt. Former President Donald Trump, an Anglophile, had famously returned the bust of Churchill to the Oval Office at his 2017 inauguration, after it had been removed by his predecessor, as they've already said. So proud was Mr. Trump of its return that he posed alongside Britain's then Prime Minister Theresa May on her visit to Washington, D.C. Which is rather funny considering she is possibly worse than Boris Johnson. She's certainly on par with him at best. Both of them, in my mind, are scum of the earth, and that is the end of it. It goes on, the bust had been a gift from British Prime Minister Tony Blair to then President George W. Bush, and had represented in recent years the closeness of the two nations across the pond. Well, actually, since Tony Blair gave it to him, maybe he should throw it in the fucking river. That is kind of where it belongs. Boris Johnson and Donald Trump should have sorted one out between them, but in all honesty, I don't really think that Boris Johnson is that close to Donald Trump politically. As many have said since, actually, Boris Johnson appears to be very close to Joe Biden and the Democrats over there. Not surprising to us, considering he calls himself a fucking feminist. And obviously, as I covered the other day, he actually thinks it's okay to be woke. Asked about this second removal from the most powerful office in the world, a Downing Street spokesman told London's Evening Standard the Oval Office is the president's private office, and it's up to the president to decorate it as he wishes, which obviously it is. But the point of it here is the fact that Boris Johnson criticised Barack Obama when he did it, and is now silent like a mouse when it comes to Sleepy Joe Biden. Perhaps he's worried that he might start sniffing Carrie if he does. Because here it says, writing in The Sun in 2016, the then Mayor of London said, "Some said it was a snub to Britain, some said it was a symbol of the Park Kenyan president's ancestral dislike of the British Empire, of which Churchill has been a fervent defender." At the time, Obama claimed that there is only so many tables where you can put busts, otherwise it starts looking a little cluttered. Which obviously could well be true, but we also know it could well be any of the other reasons that Boris Johnson rightly pointed out. When pressed on the Prime Minister's previous remarks, the spokesman told the London newspaper on Thursday, "The important thing for us is that we will have very close relationship, a special relationship with the US. Yeah, possibly more special than ever before with this Build Back Better narrative that they've taken from the World Economic Forum." He finished up with, "We're in no doubt of the importance President Biden places on the UK-US relationship, and the Prime Minister looks forward to having that close relationship with him," he added. Well, I don't know about that. It remains to be seen what Biden's actually going to do, or if it's even Biden that's in control of doing it. Let's be honest, he can't even give a fucking speech to the media without cocking it up. Biden brain farts will be a thing of this presidency for as long as he's in office, which granted might not be that long. The rest of the article there just talks about what I covered the other day with Boris Johnson saying it's okay to be woke. You can go and watch that video if you want. I'm not going to go on about it here and drag this one out. We all know it's not okay to be woke, and Boris has actually been destroyed for it recently. I might have to do a video on that if I get the time. But to be honest, I don't really care that they've removed the Winston Churchill bust from the Oval Office. The point is Boris Johnson, and he's flip-flopping when it comes to this shit. He called out Barack Obama for it when he wasn't the Prime Minister, but now he's silent like a mouse. Proving to anyone who didn't know it already, the guy is a cuck and a complete fucking jellyfish.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.